Mental health, and studies show that there's been a 75% increase in mental health claims since 2019. Nainesh Kotak is the founder of Kotak Personal Law and joins me now to help give tips for successfully navigating disability claims. Good morning, Nainesh, and thank you for joining us. So, I was just taking a look at the Ontario Human Rights Commission and, depression, that falls under that. How does SAD coincide with all of this?
Right. So seasonal affective disorder, really it's essentially with a change of seasons, particularly going from the fall to the winter, where there's an increase of depression, anxiety, and sadness. And that's a good acronym for it. At our office, we do see, in fact, the majority of claims that come through, disability claims, are related to mental health, and we saw such a dramatic increase of denials to those claims from 2020 or early 2020, obviously by the beginning of the pandemic up until now. The difficulty you see is this: you see mental illness. The diagnosis is based on subjective complaints to an appropriate physician. Many people don't go and complain about everything because of the stigma that's attached, first of all. And these claims are quite easy for insurance companies to deny on the basis that there's insufficient evidence. That's sort of the catch-all phrase that we, in fact, see. Mental illness cannot be picked up in scans, such as an MRI, unless there's been a traumatic brain injury. So a lot of it is subjective reporting. Our advice to clients and to people who are suffering from mental illness is to obviously get the appropriate treatment, get your family doctor to be an ally. Remember, when you go to your family doctor or any medical practitioner, they make notes about what you say, and those notes, in fact, are going to be shared, but with whoever the dispute with, whether it's an employer or whether it's an insurance company, a disability insurer, for example, with the cases that we do, they're going to scrutinize those notes. So it's important to go to the doctor, not only to get the appropriate treatment and the counseling that you may need, but also, in fact, to build a claim and to combat the notion that there's insufficient medical evidence.
So how does one even begin to navigate this process?
Right. So often, claims begin with a lot of stress at work, stress at home. So it's important to go to the physician and make those complaints. So the disability claims, they could be a short-term disability claim through a group policy with the employer, or even a long-term disability claim. There's three forms that need to be submitted. The first is the employee statement, where you list your subjective complaints, which means what are you going through, what the difficulties you're having in terms of function. The next form is the employer statement, which is pretty straightforward. It just sets out income, how long you've been working there, and basic factual information. I would say the most important other form that needs to be submitted, the third form, is the physician statement, because your physician will set out what the diagnosis is, what the history is, when the disability began, and what treatment the person is getting and the prognosis. This is very crucial, and that's why it's important, of course, to have your family doctor as an ally. The other tip of advice I would give is, look, a lot of claims are denied because insurance companies say that you're not getting the appropriate treatment. There are waiting lists to see psychiatrists. At least get on that, push to get on the waiting list so you can show the insurer that, hey, I am trying to get treatment. And obviously you can contact social workers and psychotherapists, and then often there's, your health plan through your employer can cover that, whether it could be counseling, whether it be virtual or in person. Those types of things will actually help the claim, and if the claim is denied, they will help in your case against the insurer.
Nainesh Kotak, founder of Kotak Personal Law Firm, thank you very much for sharing with us how to navigate the SAD process and disability claims.
Thank you for having me.
The province says that it's one step closer to